Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Faith Life Love with me, Bologi Steven, and we're on episode 3 of the pregnancy series, and I am super excited about this series, guys. If you haven't seen episode 1, where I tell you how I got pregnant, how I found out I was pregnant, and I showed you how I told my loved ones, or episode 2, where I gisted you about my first and my eventful second trimester, guys. I've put the link here because I got you. Go and watch it. And today we're on episode 3. But before we get into the gist, I just want to thank you guys for your feedback, your comments, your likes, look, you guys are the real MVPs. I've had people walk up to me that I don't know, and you're just like, oh, I'm waiting for episode 3. And to be honest, it hasn't been the easiest to record this, but I'm grateful for you guys' support. Now, caveats before we go into the gist of episode 3. If you're not ready to get real, just skip this video because I'm going to be gisting you guys real things like shamelessness in pregnancy, sex in pregnancy, and some of those things. So today we're just going to be gisting about my third trimester and then random things here and there about my pregnancy experience, right? We have 2 more episodes, do not forget. So yeah, I got into my third trimester somewhere in February, I think just after Valentine's Day was actually the first day of my third trimester. And you've watched episode 2 now, you know what I went through first and second trimester. This one came with its own symptoms. I'm not even kidding you guys. So I had back pain, I had waist pain, I had heartburn. Guys, this heartburn, and then the funny thing, there's this myth about heartburn. Well, I don't know, because my baby did come out with hair, but they tell you that if you have heartburn, it means that your baby has hair. So it's the hair of your baby that is crashing your chest and giving you heartburn. Anyways, I cannot tell you whether it's true or not. My baby just came out with hair, but man, the heartburn, it was so intense. Most times, for most of my third trimester, I was sleeping sitting, because if I eat, they'll say wait a bit for the food to go down. No matter how long, right, the food, like, I just start feeling intense heartburn from morning, anytime I eat. So most times I just sleep like sitting, maybe till like 4 a.m. Then I now lie down. It wasn't even funny. Then I had Braxton Hicks. I had fatigue. I was just tired a lot, understandably, because at this point, my bump was coming out, and I'll climb up because I live on the 2nd floor. I'll climb up to the house. I'm just panting like I ran a marathon, and I started having swollen feet, as you can see. See, guys, after my photo shoots, I did my photo shoot in my 35th week, right, with the best photographer. Like, check him out, DJK Photography. He's awesome, right? And it was also great that he's my friend, he and his wife. So we did the makeup and everything, and it was fun. We did it into the night. It was mad fun. But man, guys, my feet were swollen. So yeah, I had swollen feet, I had heartburn, back pain, I had heart palpitations. Sometimes my heartbeat would just increase for no reason. I had tummy itch, with the expansion of the tummy. I wrote down things so that I don't forget to gist you people anything. That's how personal I take you people. I had tummy itch. Then I'll give you the full gist of this one soon. But like, bladder control, let's just leave it there. There was discharge, there was a little vomit, but not so much, because I was getting past that, so maybe just once or twice. And there was pelvic bone pain. Guys, see, pregnancy will tell you about parts of your body you never knew existed. I never knew. Like, I know that there is a bone in my pelvic area, but what is it that is making me to notice the bone, if not pregnancy? Legit, like, that place was hurting. Like, I'm starting to move and it's just hurting. And I remember one day my friend called me for something else, and we just got talking about like the whole pregnancy and everything, and she asked me if that place was paining me, like the pelvic bone, actually like the pelvic bone, right? And I said yes. And she was like, oh, that she knows it's painful, but it's actually a good sign because your body sharp preparing for labor. And like just to hear her ask and talk about it, like it gave me relief. It didn't take away the pain, oh, but when you know the purpose for a pain. So the next time it came, I'm like, okay, my body's functioning right. There's just something it does to your mind. But man, that pain was real, right? So I just had all of these, things in the third trimester. It wasn't very easy, like moving like a whale. And I remember laughing at my friend when she was pregnant. Like I used to laugh at her when she's wobbly. Anytime she's walking, I'm like wobbly, wobbly, because I wasn't showing that much, and her husband just is laugh at me like your time is coming. Guys, it's not even funny. But yeah, those are some of the symptoms I had in my third trimester. I think especially that heartburn. Let's leave it. Let's just leave it. If you've experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so random things, random gists about pregnancy, and also some lessons that I want to share either with pregnant women about to be pregnant. Yes, because if you're here and you're praying for a baby, God is going to give it to you. So women about to be pregnant, and people like men, or even if you're not pregnant, so that you know how to behave and relate with pregnant women, because I had some really bad experiences. But yeah, so let's hear that. Just so first thing, marry your friend. Marry your friend, though. You get why. I say you get why. Because when you get into pregnancy, anything called shame, shakara, throw it out of the window. Nothing. See, my husband has seen me inside, out, within. I can't even shame for the man, even if I wanted to. There is no shame again. I remember one really bad day in, like, I think my first trimester. I just tell people now about how I wasn't feeling well and all of that. One day, guys, look, I told you I'm going to be real with you, so I'm even throwing my shame away with you people. I was throwing up and I was peeing on myself at the same time, because like your your bladder control, your urethra, it kind of weakens the contraction. So like you can sneeze and a little pee will come out. How much more when you're throwing up? Because when I'm throwing up, I throw up like with everything. And my husband was just holding me, and for a split second I was ashamed, and then I'm like, and so like the man has seen, let me just see what happened one day. So we're strolling, right? And then another bad habit I noticed in pregnant women, we don't like pants. We don't like it. It's very restrictive. Yeah. So anyways, we're strolling, me and my husband, down the street. And then the man said something funny. Guys, that's how, as I just burst out laughing. Guess what else burst out of me? That's how I peed on myself in public. Like, I just stopped. I looked at myself. I said, babe, your wife have peed on herself. He looked at me. We looked at each other. We laughed a little more. I mean, he's already there. We turned back, held our hands, and came back. Okay, we didn't hold hands. Let me know. Spice the gist. I came back home because me only wa cool. His baby I carry. I did not kill anybody. So, like, just things like that. Or I think one other day we were just outside the gate and my tummy was just itching me. Like, I won't even lie to you. I don't know when I just started scratching my tummy before I now realized, girl, you're outside. And my husband just looking at me like, oh my God. Where's the babe? I'm married. But more than that, another important reason to marry your friend is my husband was able to help me. He helped me a lot in pregnancy, right? Like, for the longest time, I couldn't do a lot of things, and he would do it, and it wasn't like out of compulsion. Marry a good man that is also your friend, and then we could laugh about these embarrassing things I'm gisting you now, because there are some people that honestly, legit, cannot do these things in front of their husband, and it was only me and him in the house. So if I cannot do this in front of you, what will I do when I'm vomiting? I should vomit. I should whisper my vomit, just like I should be like. They just be whispering my vomit because maybe I cannot show my husband. But yeah, so marry your friend. Marry your friend. You get why. And if you're a husband watching this, please just be helpful and be a friend to your wife in terms of pregnancy. There are things that she might be embarrassed about, or her body she might be conscious about. Make her feel good, and just your wife, joke with her, play with her, appreciate her, because she's going through a lot. Number two is what I would call the grateful guilt. Now, a lot of times in pregnancy, especially when you don't find it very easy, you feel a certain way. Like, there are times when you just feel so tired and you're crying, or you're just tired. You're tired of the pain, you're tired of the discomfort, you're tired of the swollen feet, you're tired of the fatigue, you're tired of throwing up. And some people would have the guts to tell you, at least be happy you're pregnant. No, 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 no. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy I'm pregnant. I'm grateful that God has gifted me this baby. But it doesn't negate what I feel. So let's not go around. Let's allow people to express themselves. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's grateful guilt, because you feel like you're not being grateful that you are pregnant because you are tired. Please don't make anybody feel that way. And if you're pregnant and you're feeling tired and you're feeling guilty that you're feeling that way, honey, don't feel tired, don't feel guilty, right? You're a human being. And thank God the Bible says that we do not have a high priest that is not accustomed with the things that we go through and the things that we feel. So he knows what you're feeling. He's not angry at you for being tired. Feel free to express yourself to people that are your safe place. Sometimes just saying that you're tired and having somebody say, Bele, I know what you're going through, or it's fine, you're doing well. Those things, you see this, you're doing well. It has never meant so much as it does in pregnancy and motherhood. But any pregnant woman and any mother right there, you're doing well. You're doing well. Let people express themselves. Now, number 3, sex in pregnancy. So, guys, I will not be too graphic, but what I will tell you, honestly, again, I would make reference to episode 2, because I gisted you guys how my first and second trimester was. And if you watched it, if you've not watched it, go and watch it so that you understand what I'm saying. If you watched it, you understand that, look, with everything I was going through, sex was the last thing on my mind. I couldn't even bring myself to try. Just that. First of all, you're not even feeling that way. You're not feeling, you're not even feeling attractive. When you're spending half the day vomiting, you're not just feeling in the mood, right? And then you're physically sick. This is now for some people, remember, right? Every pregnancy is different. You're physically sick. So I wasn't, don't bring it near me. And this is why it's important for Christians. I'm a Christian and I believe in what the word of God says. Sex is for marriage. Now, beyond the covenant of sex and marriage is the fact that it will teach you self-control. If you cannot have self-control before you marry, you think that once you marry, the self-control will fall on you. No. And there are times in marriage that you will need that self-control. Yes, sometimes people say, oh, my spouse will not go to school or whatever. What if you're pregnant? I had a friend that her entire 9 months bed rest, so she couldn't do nothing for 9 months. So what will you do? Will you cheat? Will you kill yourself because he can't? We are just having sex because he can't. No. So anyways, there was nothing like that too. But in my second trimester, every once in a while, I'll get in the mood. Sometimes it'll be funny because, your tummy is protruding. You're trying to find how we can maneuver. It's funny. And then again, marry your friend, so that in those times you can just laugh at yourselves and find a way. So there were sometimes, it wasn't a lot, because again, I was still feeling a bit sick. By the third trimester, I was so heavy. I was just, but it's not everybody. I have a friend that I keep making reference to my friends, because some people every pregnancy is different, right? So you might not fall in my category, you might fall in another category. I have a friend that was so horny all through her pregnancy. At some point, it was like, I was about to run away from her. I'm tired, But sex in pregnancy, you just have to, you might not always be in the mood. and then sometimes you have to maneuver because your body is different, your tummy is big, or you're not feeling yourself, and all of those things. So you have to be adaptable, and flexible, and talk to your spouse. Talk to your spouse. It's not like I'm not attracted to you. It's not like, but it's just that, the baby and all of that. So, yeah. Now, related to sex in pregnancy is my relationship with my husband, right? In pregnancy. And again, it wasn't the easiest of times. And that's why it's very important you pick who you're marrying based on holistic things. Don't pick based on one thing, because you're going to need this person for everything you're going to do in life. So for me, I was just really grateful for my husband. Really, our relationship during that period, of course, it was different because I couldn't do a lot of the things that I used to do. I couldn't cook as much as I used to cook. I couldn't clean the house as much as I used to. So it was a bit different. It was more like he was my daddy taking care of me. I told you guys about school runs in episode 2, right? So yeah, but I think we still try to, every once in a while, especially when I started to feel better, to have date nights. So either in the house or just watch a movie, or would actually go out. I think we went to see a movie like once or twice during my pregnancy when I was feeling a bit better. Went out for ice cream, went to this park and just walked around. We would go on strolls. We'd go on strolls around our neighborhood, and the man would try to embarrass me.
Yeah, it be sucking belly.
I'm not sucking belly.
It's sucking. Let's see how far you can suck into.
Leave me alone. I want somebody to be free in life.
Oh, who is saying anything?
Why are you recording me? That's not how I'm not walking like this.
That's how you're walking.
No, I'm walking straight.
Okay, straight, yes.
Put a human being inside your stomach and let's see how you walk.
Just wobbling.
God forgives you. God forgives you. So we just try to keep our relationship. We try to be intentional. That's one thing you have to be. Especially if you don't have an easy pregnancy, you have to be very intentional about your relationship with your spouse. And the husband, you have to be very understanding with your wife. And husbands, you can disarm your wife with love. Let me tell you, because I used to always be like, when I'm in labor, I'll be beat my husband, I'll be slapping him, I'll be saying, come and carry him. See, I'll just you for labor gist. Don't worry, it's not for this episode. But disarm your spouse with love. As a husband, especially if your wife is going through a lot, with love, you just disarm her. I'm telling you something. So yeah, our relationship was different, but we were able to, God helping us, be intentional and navigate through it. Baby shopping, guys, these little humans are expensive. That is why you must get pregnant when you're ready to get pregnant. Don't allow anybody to pressure you into pregnancy. They will not carry that baby, and they will not buy everything that baby needs. You have to plan. It gets why. I remember the first time. So this is a picture of my first shopping. I went with one of my daughters. This is a picture. And I remember that when we went to pay, when we were at the counter and we finished paying, she saw how much. And they put everything in like 2 nylons, and she carried it, and she was very angry. She was angry that, with all this money we have paid, this bag should be heavy. Like, let's feel the weight of the money. Just that. Shopping is, I think you should get advice, especially if you have friends that have gone ahead of you or siblings. Get advice, right? Don't waste too much money on 0 to 3 months things. Don't, because this baby, they outgrow things, Get tips from people around you. If you have people that have bought things, know what to spend your money on. There are some things you don't need to spend money on at all. Now there are great pages where you can get nice thrift, or people that are japaing, or people that are decluttering. There are declutter pages that you can get things that are, some are even very new, but the prices are reduced. So just be wise and be prudent. And shout out to Madi Paluwa. Guys, let me tell you, Madi is real MVP. So I told you guys about my last episode. I told you that she was 3 months ahead of me, so she had already done her shopping. So my dear friend, very meticulous woman. See, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what she did. She has an Excel sheet where she just, named the item, where she bought it, whether it was fairly used, the price, and all of that, and she just sent it to me, guys. That was my list. That was my list. I said, this is why you carry belly before me. You get why? So yeah, just like, if you have people around you that can help you, tell you where to get the best deals, don't spend unnecessary money. I think that's one major thing, because baby things are already expensive and you need things for your baby. There's no two ways about it. So if you have somebody around you that, got pregnant ahead of you, ask questions. And if you don't mind, maybe you a sibling or a very close friend that can give you some of the things. I remember something that my friends and I were saying that we're going to do, and it just came up like, oh, if I have a baby now, we can just, so it's not like we're just passing items around, things that can be reused. Oh, you need this now, my baby has outgrown it, but by the time I have maybe my second baby, it can come back to me. So you can buy quality things so that they last. So just, be innovative. And if someone wants to give you something, don't be proud. Don't be proud. Because collect it and say thank you. Thank you very much. Don't be proud. These little humans, they are so expensive. And then let's not go into baby gist. That one is for another time. So yeah, that's that about shopping based. And then find out from your hospital as well. If there's some hospitals that'll tell you to pay an amount and they'll give you what you need. Some others will give you a list, so just find out what's obtainable there. Guys, stop shaming pregnant women. Let me just what happened. I went for my friend's introduction, and this guy on the table beside me, I think I was more than 6 months gone. In fact, I was like maybe 8 months or thereabouts. And he was sitting beside me, and my friends were going to serve food. And I'm just like catching trips, like, look, I'm pregnant. That's my excuse for not standing up. And then he just looks at me and says, I have a question. Why are all pregnant women lazy? Ha! I just told him, see, don't ever say this to another pregnant woman, because I can't promise you that they will not kill you. Why would you say that? You don't even ask, oh, what does it feel like? Are you guys always do you understand? Like, can we stop shaming people? No, everybody's pregnancy is different. I can't emphasize it enough. Made, for example, didn't have any of the sickness that I had. Her bump was bigger than mine. So it would be unfair of her to now tell me, for example, that why are you doing like this, because she didn't have illnesses or fatigue and all the symptoms I had. So please, everybody's pregnancy is different. The fact that your mother was a certain way does not mean that your wife will be that way. Even the way your first pregnancy is not the same way your second pregnancy might be. So please, can we just stop shaming people? I went for in my third trimester, I had a radio interview, right? And while I was there, at this point I was driving myself again and everything, and the person that interviewed me was like, strong woman, you're driving yourself. And I just thought to myself, like, yeah, I look strong now, I'm doing whatever I'm doing today, but you don't know what I've gone through. And in church, there was a point in my pregnancy, guys, I had the pregnancy glow. I'll not even see this picture. I'll not even lie. Even me, I saw it. I had pregnancy glow. And when I'm well enough and I go to church, they'll be like, pregnancy fits you. See how you're just looking fine. See how this one, see how that one. And I just laugh. And sometimes I just tell them, it's my husband that is the main person that knows this thing. Because you don't know the full story. So it will be unfair for you to see me and you're saying, see how she's glowing, see how she's doing this one, and expect that either your wife or your sister or whoever around you that's pregnant be like that. Let's stop shaming people, please and please and please. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pregnancy is different. Just give people grace. Give pregnant women the grace to be their own authentic pregnant self. Next, document your journey. It's so important, and it's very interesting to come back and read. So before, I want to show you guys something, but before that, I had this journal. I bought this journal for my son, and I would write to him, tell him how I felt, and just bless him and talk to him. And in my own journal, my personal journal, I would just write how I'm feeling and all of that. And then my darling friend Raquel bought me this pregnancy affirmations by Fabulous Bump Adeton Jegede, and it's such an amazing book. And if you're pregnant here, it's beautiful. And if you're looking for a gift for a pregnant woman, get it. So it just allows you to feel, so the week and all of that allows you, it gives you an affirmation for a week. You put in your to-do, your cravings, your symptoms, summary of how your week was. It tells you a little about the week. I'll just read one entry for you guys very quickly. I think this is my last entry, 38 weeks, right? So I'll just read it very quickly for you guys. So I said my week was fast, lol. So I really hoped baby boy would drop this week, but kole work. I had repeated Braxton Hicks multiple days of the week, particularly in the evenings. I would get excited and hope it's real, but it will fade off with the night. Sigh. My tired is getting tired. Oh, and I've been nesting. I've been nesting, arranging the house, rearranging my kitchen in preparation for a comeback, cooking soups and all of that. I actually had some energy and missed the pain, and that was great. My babies, Bologi and Bologi, were around for the weekend too, so that helped. They also wrote the cutest short notes to the prince, and it was great. Anyways, we're ready. We move. Right? So it just helps to go back, you read it, you smile, and all of that, right? I made my cousin and my niece to write to my son in his journal. So just documenting all of these things, they are good memories to have. The best part of my pregnancy was my baby movement. I really loved it, and I had such an active child. In fact, he's still active now. So like, he has always been active, and then he's active from 11 p.m. That's when he will now wake up and be kicking me everywhere, right? But that was honestly my best. It always used to fascinate me when my friends were pregnant. I always like to feel the movement of the baby. So in my pregnancy, of course, it was my best part to just feel this human move in me, Lord, and just to watch my tummy go like this and freak my brothers out. Because my brother is like, oh my God, my older brother. I'm calling you out. My older brother is like, oh my God, where is he going to? Is he paining you? What is this? And my younger brother was just fascinated. So yeah, that was my best part of pregnancy. For picking my baby name, I don't know, I think it was a journey to the name. I'll give you a summary. I don't know if I'll do a video, maybe a short video on it, maybe. And if Sabeb, the husbandman, decides to join me, that would be great. But basically, for us, we had meanings. So we knew the meaning of the name we wanted first, and the meaning led us to the name. Do you understand? So his name is Eitan. Eitan means strong, firm. It was the strong and the firm that led us to the name. His Jabba name is Heinom. Heinom is the glory of God, his majesty, his bigness. So we had the meanings and we walked our way. His Basange name is Twangi Soko. My mom gave that name, so she had the name ready, right? So those are his major names. And like I said, for us, we had meanings and walked our way into the name. And we had the names like before he was born, like months before he was born. And the last thing I would gist you guys is my baby shower. So I said I don't want surprise baby shower. Please, we are done with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I already told you guys, keep hearing Maddie's name right. So I already told my friend Maddie and my daughter Blessing, like, okay, this is what I want to. I told them the theme I want. I told them what I want on my garland. I told them the color. I just like, this is what I want. Please venue my house, because I didn't want to stress myself. I don't want any stress in life. My friends now. You people have seen them episode 1 and 2. These people got my heart. So I just told them what I wanted reading. Cake, food. And then for the gift, the baby shower, I just sent them a list. Okay, these are the things I haven't bought. Whatever you guys want to tick off the list. because it's very important. And if you have a pregnant friend, sometimes it helps to just ask them what you want, especially if they're still pregnant, like before they give birth. Just ask them, because there are things on their list they probably haven't bought yet. Ask them what they want and just give it to them, really. Somebody was asking me that, why didn't I want a surprise? I'm like, look, there's no time for that, right? Let's just do this thing and move on, right? But I had a good time, and it was a fun activity, just to take time off being pregnant, in quotes, and just have fun and be relaxed and everything. So that's like that about random gist, and I hope that you've learned something, especially if you're pregnant now, or you're about to be pregnant, or if you're around a pregnant person or will be around a pregnant person. I hope that you've picked up one or two things that would help you and guide your relationship in pregnancy or around pregnancy. Next week, guys, we come to the climax, because next week I'm going to be gisting you everything labor. I'm going to gist you people about the 13th day of May 2021, from the beginning to the end when I do enter labor. You don't want to miss episode 4. Even me, I don't want to miss episode 4. I have everything ready for you guys, so be ready to come here with your popcorn. First things first, on Friday next week for episode 4. If you have any questions about my pregnancy or anything you want me to do a video on, really, just put it in the comments and I'll get back to you with a video or with a comment, or just let me know anything on pregnancy or life, faith, love. I got you. So guys, this is my gist for today. Until next week, it's Faith Life Love with Bologi Steven. Do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment. Like, the comment section gives me life. Thank you guys. To comment, to just tell me your own experience if you've been pregnant before, to encourage somebody. Just, let's just engage, like, subscribe, and click the bell, the notification, so that next week when labor gist drops, you'll be the first to know. It's always nice chatting with you guys. I always enjoy my time with you guys. Until next week, be safe, take care. Jesus loves you, and I love you too. Bye. Especially when, if you don't have a